Ownership of the job hunt connects the dots between your actions and outcome. It's believing that a large share of the outcome is within your sphere of influence. Why is that important? A candidate who has things happen to him has little motivation to change his approach, while a candidate who believes he influences the outcome holds himself accountable. A lack of ownership might sound like, hey, if it's meant to be, it's meant to be. Or he might complain the process wasn't fair, or fret about how he wasn't qualified despite having had an interview. I won't argue there's dynamics out of your control like discrimination, nepotism, unfairness, qualifications, and even jobs that you might have almost no chance of getting despite the interview. Rather than look for unfairness, look for opportunity. If a competitor gets a job because the boss met him at a social function, challenge yourself as to why you weren't at that same social function. What could you have done to get there? Or if that wasn't an option, how else might you have gotten the introduction you needed? If you believe you're more qualified than the candidate hired, ask yourself what there is to learn and what you might do differently next time. If you keep getting job rejections in a recession, rather than grumble, contemplate why you're not getting hired, especially if someone else is, manufacturing your own success. To believe otherwise is to be a victim of your circumstances, defeating yourself before the race begins. Ownership awards you accountability, self-responsibility, and motivation, all of which are under your control. It empowers you to understand the circumstances you're faced with, fair or not, to figure out a way to make it work. As I've said and will repeat, if you have an interview, the job is yours to lose. Someone, somewhere in the organization believes, right or wrong, you're qualified to some extent, at least on paper, to do the job. It's equally important for you to believe in yourself, both before the interview and after, regardless of whether you get the job. Believing in yourself is the ante for self-confidence and the requirement for personal ownership, especially if you're not hired. It's easy to tell yourself you didn't get the job because Acme hired a more qualified candidate. And, while that may be true, this attitude undermines your ability to hold yourself accountable to the outcome. Being a casualty of the process results in taking the same approach for the next job, while holding yourself accountable means that you carefully review what you did and didn't do well and make changes to your preparation and approach.